know I talked about formal substances the last one, but I wanted to do a follow-up called what I like to call focusing on proving you're disabled. I've been doing these videos for a number of years now, and I've got probably about 400 videos, and I've had a lot of great comments and so forth. And I know I've said this over and over again about focusing on, focusing on, focusing on, focusing on. And I know there's some people out there going saying, Attorney Reeves, you're like a broken record. Why do you keep saying that? The reason why I keep saying this is because when you're applying for disability, and this is probably more of a motivational video than it is medical condition, so just kind of bear with me. When you're applying for Social Security disability benefits, your life has significantly changed. I always tell people that applying for disability benefits is not a part of your life plan. You may plan to go to college, trade school, military. You may have planned on starting your own business, getting married, traveling and seeing the world. Applying for Social Security was not a part of that plan. Trust, I understand that. But it's important that when you do find yourself in a position where you're looking to apply for Social Security benefits, that your focus is on proving that you're disabled. A lot of times people get so caught up in the window dressing. And what do you mean by the window dressing? Like, you'll get people who think that, they've got to be strategic how they do it. They got to plan this, they got to do this. And I'm always like, you spend more time trying to strategically maneuver, thinking that you got this big time lawsuit case like you're watching Law and Order. And I'm like, dude, it's really very simple. Focus on proving that you're disabled. Now, here's the other thing that you need to also understand. Sometimes focusing on proving you're disabled is recognizing that you won't be able to do it alone. The reason why I say that is because sometimes things happen. And sometimes you're in that position where you're trying to figure out how to make that next move. You're working part-time and you're thinking, maybe should you quit? Or you're working full-time and you're wondering, can you get disability benefits, and transition into it? I've done videos about how that doesn't always work in your favor, but just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. You're getting workers' comp. You want to know how that works. You're getting Social Security benefits. You're getting VA benefits. You're wondering how that's going to work. You're thinking about going back to work. You're wondering how that's going to work. You're thinking about the fact of, of doing a few things here on the side. How's that going to impact you? There are so many different moving parts because this is not a short process. And so focusing on proving may also mean stopping for a second and recognizing that maybe you need someone who can give you some guidance. Trust me when I tell you, this is a process that you could find yourself in for a few months, even to a few years. And regardless of how sophisticated you are, how smart you are, how well put together you are, simple reality is that, you know what? You can't do it by yourself. But if you can do it by yourself, use the tools that are available to you. There are I've noticed this, there's a lot of support groups online. Get on those groups and talk to your peers. Okay? There's a lot of attorneys who do blogs, a lot of attorneys who do videos right here on YouTube. Not just me, there's a bunch of them. There's a few of them who I subscribe to theirs because I like to hear what they have to say. Educate yourself on what you need to do. Don't go through this thing blind and just think by signing yourself on a little dotted line that you good to go and you can just ride off into the sunset. Don't put yourself in that position. When you decide that I'm going to apply for Social Security disability benefits, when you make that decision, focus on proving you're disabled. If you don't know what to do or if what you're doing is right or proper, don't fumble through it on your own. And here's another thing that I want you to recognize, because there's a lot of great resources out there and a lot of support groups. Do not compare your case to somebody else's case. Do not allow yourself to be falling into the haze that when somebody tells you that their experiences, that you're going to automatically apply them to you. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of things that people go through are very similar. The frustration of waiting, similar. Getting a boatload of paperwork, similar. Going to consultative evaluations, similar. But the results are going to always be different. Use the opportunity to speak to your colleagues, your peers, your support groups to help you get a better understanding of what you need to do going forward and then apply it accordingly. But also be smart enough to recognize what you don't know. If you don't know it, if you don't understand it, if you're not sure you're doing it right, don't fumble through it. There are a couple of different organizations out there that can help you. There's a lot of nonprofits in your area. There's a National Organization for Social Security Claimants Representatives. There's a National Association of Disability Representatives. There's just so many resources available to you. I don't want you to run out there and run dirty and think you're doing this on your own. This is a long process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Do what you can do to put yourself in the best light to do the one thing that you're designed to do when you're going and you're applying, proving your